I bet you guys didn't know this, but I actually am growing tea here in the backyard. And we have Camellia sinensis. I have 2 plants of it. You can see on the tag, Camellia sinensis from Camellia Forest Nursery. It's the small leaf variety. And this will produce green, black, white tea. And it's been here now for 2 winters, and look how great it looks after this winter. It was quite mild. However, it looks phenomenal, and I have no doubt that it will survive the winters here year after year, and I'll be able to perennialize tea here and make my own tea this way. And I think you guys should too. I really do. I could, however, you can see there's a new flush of growth. It's been growing for quite a while now. It seemed like it even started growing through the winter time. And I could, if I wanted to, harvest off the growth tip and this leaf right here. You know, you really want that tender growth. Even more tender than this is probably ideal. We want a lot of growth points. You know, something like this small leaf right here. You want a lot of growth points. We really want this thing to bush out well. In fact, what I'm going to probably end up doing, but it's already doing it itself here, it looks like, is that it's putting out a lot of new growth points along the main stem. Because I want this thing, both of these, to really bush out well. Otherwise, you have to really propagate these and plant a lot of them in a very small space. I may have to, but in a backyard setting, I don't think it really matters all that much. But when I was in Japan, guys, I got to visit a tea farm, and they showed me how to grow tea. Because I really do love green tea, especially when I was in Japan. It was everywhere, and I had a matcha latte basically every day. I am a bit caffeine sensitive, unfortunately, but I think it's worth it sometimes. Anyway, I think this is one interesting little thing here that I forgot to show you guys. Actually, during one of the tours that we did. If you guys didn't see the tour videos, 1, 2, and 3, go check those out. We did those recently in the spring. But isn't this just something cool, how the tea looks right now, how everything's going? We're only a couple of years away, I think, from having mature tea plants. And I'll be able to make myself some tea at the beginning of the year, harvest that first new push of growth, maybe even here and there. Do a couple harvests, maybe once or twice a year. And yeah, it's just something that you guys should think about, growing camellias here, the Camellia sinensis. We do have it, I want to mention, in a very shady spot. And I don't know if this is really recommended, but it's going to lessen that bitterness in the tea leaf. And that's how they make matcha, is that they actually have fields and fields of tea, or I should say they have rows and rows of these tea plants, and a lot of them are in full sun. Almost all of them are in full sun, but what they do is they cover them with shade cloth. It's like, I forget what percentage exactly it is, but they cover them with shade cloth in the rows of the tea leaves to help them not get that bitterness, and to actually produce matcha. So it's pretty interesting how they're able to sort of get that pale green leaf and not have it so dark and green. As you can see, it is down here on some of these leaves. And that's sort of how they do it, you know, is getting that pale green growth. That's why matcha is so green and beautiful, is they actually will put that shade cloth over it. So I don't know if it's better to have it. I imagine it's probably not better to have it here in the complete shade, or it really only gets about 2 or 3 hours a day. I'd probably rather have it in full sun, get it to maturity quicker, and then be able to cover them with shade cloth if I wanted to. But this is a really nice microclimate down here for these plants. You know, here in Zone 7, they're not really supposed to be able to handle the winter time here. They're right on the edge of Zone 7, and they're more like a 7B plant, and I'm in 7A. But because I have them sort of like close to the house in a decent microclimate with this bush here, this evergreen tree and this plant here, I think it provides a decent microclimate, and these guys are able to get through the winter. If you grow these plants in a colder place even than where I'm at, get yourself some blankets and cover them on the very cold nights. If you do that, I think you guys will be successful in no time. Think about growing some tea, guys. We'll talk to everybody soon. Take care out there.